Hey everyone, welcome back to this next video. We had just finished wrapping up building this plans page. This I guess toggle option on the right side of the page, and we're going to move on to the next part of that, which is clicking on these images to let's take a look back at what the actual app is doing here in this Loda Yoga app that we are building. So when you click one of these, you get this page. And then when you join a program, well, this, again, we talked about in the last video, this is a calendar feature that is a nice to have, not essential to integrate for the purposes of what we're doing here. But basically, let's see, we'll get back to that screen. We'll take a look at it. We'll see what we need to build out. So, da 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 da. If we click on one of these, boom. Okay, so this page is what we need to build so that we can add a workflow of clicking these images, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get some of this stuff hidden. And what I'm going to do is add a new group onto the page. And I'm going to name this group we have another one, or we have a similar thing going on when we click these, just for the naming sake. When we click one of these, we've got a class preview page. When we click over here on the plans, we're going to call it a plan preview group. And we're going to make that 0, 0, no background. Bring it out to the edges. All of our typical setup. It is not visible upon page load. It make it look nice for iPads. Collapse it when it's hidden. And what type of content is this? It is bundles, right? So if we look at our class preview group, it has yoga classes as its data type, and then it does a search for those. So we're going to say, hey, do a search for the bundles first item. So there's only one item. So it's going to go and it's going to grab that, which that will be passed to it from, if we go back to the plans group and we click this. So we've got this bundle that is that's in this repeating group, and each of these has its own unique bundle. So what are we going to do with that bundle? We're going to pass its data similar to as we do before. We're going to pass its data into the group plans preview. The data we're going to display is the current cells bundle. So cool. So we pass that data up from here, or from this thing. So when it is clicked, it will, oh yeah. We also want to, let's just imagine for a second that we're scrolled down all the way here, and then we click this. We want it to scroll us up, and we want it to move us to the, so element action, scroll to the 0 position, and navigate to this page that we're working on. Send the nav parameter of plan. So the other one we have class preview. Well, say this one will be plan preview. And I'm going to say, I just want to be consistent with some of my things. So I'm going to say this one, class preview, plan preview. Yeah, okay. I'm being consistent. Woohoo. All right, so to copy expression, paste this expression. So it is plan preview is the URL parameter that we're using to navigate to this page, frame, panel, card, view, whatever you want to call it. Cool. So when this is clicked, that workflow will be set off, display the data, scroll back up in case we're scroll down. We will go to that page. Plan preview. Plan preview. Cool. All right. Sometimes I do those double checks. Like I just did the exact same thing twice. But then that way, I don't have to I can close that loop. I know it's right. I've double checked it. I don't have to come back at the end of this video and be like, hey, weren't there some things out there that I want to double check and make sure they're working? So that is the reason for some of the extra work here. I know we're in the details, but here we go. Let's see what else needs to go on this page. I'm going to pop an image up top. I want to make this image probably like 300 tall because the other one is 400. You want to make it 280 tall. I don't know. Or, let's see, 0, 0. Okay. Sometimes I just like to drag this to the edge manually. Just, if there's any bugs in the system that it knows it's stuck to the side, which means I want the responsive stuff to take over. So keep element proportions as the page is resized. Here I got a height of 220. How's that look? Yeah, it is more of a landscape orientation than portrait. It's not even square. So this 320, maybe I'll go to 250. I think it looks good at 220. And then what do we got? We got a button. All right, let's go 240. And then the image that we want is the parent group apps bundles photo. No. All right. Yeah. So there's not an actual. So what I would need to do is go over here to bundles, go to data type, go to bundle, create a new field. I want to see what I named the other one. So we got this one as like photo. I'm going to call it main photo. And the nice thing is when you update this here, that I'll just show really briefly that, look, this one is now main photo as well. So you never have to worry about those types of things. Bubble is super smart like that to take care of these updates to propagate them through the system. But I want to create a new field. So that's the main photo. Now I'm going to say the plan preview photo. That is also an image. I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Not cheating, but basically I'm doing things in a more manual way. So this one, it's like this, image like this or whatever. And that is, I'm going to try and make it work with, so I'm looking for the hero image of the vinyasa number 2. I'm looking for this image, and I'm trying to take, you know what, I think I'm going to have to, just design this. So you guys get a little free design course work here. I usually just leave this off mostly because it is it's not super essential, and not everyone has Photoshop. But if you have a GIMP or something similar, you know, you can utilize that. So what I've done here is I've just pulled this image in. I'm looking for something. Let's see. I'm looking for something. What size? 320 wide by, I think, 240, I said. Yes, 320 by 240. So let me just go ahead and take this image, 320. And I'm probably going to want some of this dark at the bottom here. So there's a couple ways to do it. This is just my tool of choice. Is this? It's too big. I always use this tool just because it's more of a blender. If I could, this particular photo doesn't need that much help blending. Okay, it was all very black, so you could just, you know, normally take it straight across. All right, so I like that. And I want to maybe come and just get a crop on that. And then I want to check my canvas size, 320, and I want 240. I'm just gonna see where this brings me. Do I want more at the bottom? Nah, I think it's good. Although, yeah, let me nudge it up. I like that. And okay. I think, yeah, when I shrank this, the edges get a little bit transparent. I should have shrank it down and then cut it. All right, but cool. No, don't want that. All right, good enough, good enough. So we're going to save that. Now, what is this? I'm looking at the beginner yoga. So this is a plan preview. Here. Save it as JPEG. Good enough. Good enough, good enough. All right, so back to our editor for the data. The beginner yoga plan. Pop this latest one into there. All right, and I'll do the other image editing off camera, but now plan preview photo. Yep. So now we can pass that into there, and then we'll just click on that one to use our example that it's working. So this is the plan preview hero, again using the nomenclature of traditional web design for the main image on the page, the hero image. And it's cool because it matches the exact size, so we like that. Element is visible on page load. Cool. All right, next we need a button. That button looks about halfway between, and I think we have some other stuff that use this color already, so we'll just grab that. And what else do we need? This is a button. And preview. What does this button do? This button is sign up for plan. And let's make it 40 high by 200 maybe. Center it. Join program. Okay. Yep, we're locked into the grid. Center again horizontally. This is, I do want to make that fixed width because I don't know. I think that regardless, it'll be fine. No, I take it back. Those darn iPads. But I want to give it a maximum width of 40% for the iPads when it stretches out. Now, what else? So we're going to have an image here. And again, actually, I'm going to clear this. I'm just going to upload that one image for design's sake. So we got the title. We got a little bit of info there. And title. We're going to insert the bundles title. And what do we got for always be in a good mood? What I'm going to do is, because we're not always certain to have the exact, like I'm not taking the time to make these images, you know, with a good background for contrast with the text. So what's the way around that? The way around that is give it a little bit of a background, dark color, and then go with like 50 maybe. And let's see where we're at. So set that state so things show. The beginner yoga plan. The beginner yoga plan. Okay. So we want this text to be a little bit bigger. Bold it. 14. If we have 1.5, that makes it like 21 high. So if we had 42 high, that would give us 2 lines. We actually want to go, let's go 18. So that's 29 high at that line spacing. So if we went 60 or 58, let's say 60. And give it a little bit more width. And what does that do? Picks for you. Well, it doesn't have that data loaded into it. That join program button, I think it could be taller. See? 220. Gosh, that's really big now. 50. Center horizontally. The beginner yoga plan. I think I want this text to align right. And I'm going to copy and paste that. And then in this one, I'm going to say there was, I believe it is, let's check back. I believe it's description. So there's title, there's description. So I want a description to be 14, not bold. So if that's 14 and that's 1.5, this only needs to be like, well, let's see how this looks. And what else? Beginner, we're just not going to worry about that. You could add a category to that. You know exactly how to do that. You just add that as a field, and then you pull it in dynamically, just like we're doing with this other data next to it. The beginner yoga plan. Oh, right, because I didn't update this to description. And what else? There is this large description about the program. So maybe description is not the best thing for this 2 weeks, 10 classes. Maybe that's like, that should actually be schedule. Yeah, 1 week, 7 classes. And so notice that the spacing is kind of wonky here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both of those, and then I'm going to say group these elements in a group. And then I'm going to name this group and heading text is not fixed with and yeah, so I'm going to actually go to the data type for the bundle description. I'm going to say, are we using that anywhere else? Description, we're not using it in these other ones. So I'm free to call this schedule and create a new field, description, by text, lorem, tools, grab some small, let's see, so now this description gets that. This one will get this. And, you know, some of the stuff that we're doing, you guys kind of already can, having worked this far, you can see already. I'm sure you're kind of locked in of seeing what's next. As we take these smaller detailed steps of, okay, now fill in this data, now do this, now do that. Yeah, so 1 to 7 week classes, the beginner yoga plan, join program. So nothing happens there. We could update some stuff. But all right, so let's keep going. So join yoga program. We've got some text here. We'll go 280. Oh, we got 2 pieces of text. Because this bubble installation is magical lately. Just magically makes 2 pieces of text. Height. We want the description to show up here. And we want it to be, I think, like 14. Make it lighter. And so I think the max we'll want this thing is like 42. I'll give it 2 lines of text, and then if anything goes beyond that, we'll just cut it off. There's a more thing. I'm not going to worry about that for now. Like you could expand this down. You could do some hide, show, conditional stuff to and some character count things. That's beyond the scope of this. So what we want to do is I think we'll use the cell indexed for this heading. And the heading, I mean, is where have we been working lately? Classes? Group heading. Yeah, this thing. We're going to copy this. First, we're going to put in a repeating group. We're going to make that 320 for its width, 1 by 1, and then we'll let it expand down. The type of content is classes, and we do a search for the classes that are part of this, where the bundle number equals, do a search for the bundle that equals the parent group's bundle. Okay, I know that might be confusing, but what is going on here? This bundle, the parent group, is, remember when the beginner back here, when this beginner one is clicked on, let's go through this step by step. So this beginner one, it has this bundle number associated with it. This beginner yoga plan is bundle 5. And so the parent group's bundle number is number 5. So what this little gray thing here, it says it evaluates to a number. That's evaluating to the number 5. So it's saying the bundle, when the bundle equals number 5, then that's for the bundle. Then go over to our classes, and which classes have bundles number 5? Well, none of them actually. So that's something I overlooked when I created these. So actually, I think we want to get a list of classes. I might have done that wrong. This actually works when we're not doing. So what I have for these like the beginner yoga plan, I have like 2 different bundles worth of stuff that I'm calling a bundle. Just trying to get fancy because, again, if it was a 21-day class, maybe you'd want to show a couple different classes from a couple different bundles. And so I thought that would be helpful. But basically, I want to search for yoga classes. What I want is this class list. I want to find classes where they're in the class list of bundle 5. So that will change the conditional. So let's see if we can do that. So I want to search for classes where the bundle number search for bundles I want that's not going to work. If I left it as is right now, it would just say, find all the bundles. I want to search for the classes where no, okay. The data source is a bundle where the class list contains a class whose bundle number equals all the stuff that we had before. No, where the bundle number equals the bundle of the parent group's bundle number. So bring that down a level, where the bundle number so what do we have one level up from here? One level up from here we have the number 5 that equals that bundle. And then here we're saying where the bundle number equals 5. Search for I don't think that's right, but I want to, so then, all right, I'm going to pause this, come back with the figured out answer, so that way we can move on from here. Okay, so we're back, and here's what I would like to share as a takeaway from this little exercise. I'm going to clear this out, and what I did, this is, again, something I want to share this because there's value in this. there's value in when you don't know what to do. The best thing you can do, all right, this is preference. You can do this however you see fit. Um, I like to write things out. I mean, this was what I did just now. Here's what I'm saying though. When you write this stuff out, you not only get clear about the things that you want, um, you couldn't even go to someone to ask them for help if you don't know what you want. So, you could go onto a forum, you could go, right, like your thought, if you get stuck in bubble and your thought is, I'm going to go straight to the forum, and then even like the process of writing out your what it is you're looking to accomplish as a question in the forum, sometimes that is a form of helping you think through these things so that you can answer them for yourself. So now think about it. Now, if somebody out there is going to charge you $75, $100 an hour for troubleshooting some of this stuff, the first for, unless, I don't know, if you're loaded and that's the way you want to roll, then please buy my courses and then also pay someone $100 an hour for their help. But really, to take a few minutes and write out what it is that you want as clearly as you can. Okay, rant over. But there's a ton of value in that. There's a ton of value in clear thinking. So the solution to this actually is ridiculously simple. It's great. We go to the parent group, because I was thinking, how do I get to that class list? We want this class list that's associated with these. And I was trying to do all this haranguing, but really, we want to get that class list. But to get there, we got to go through the bundle. Well, so I was doing a search for all this stuff where the bundle equals like the bundle, whatever. The parent group has that bundle, and that bundle has a class list. So there you have it. Cool. How do we verify that this is what we want? Well, first off, we could just drag an image in here, but I'm going to keep us moving here. So we want day 1, day 2, morning flow. I think I might have still, yes. Okay, I had that on my, I had copied that earlier. So what is this? This is not what we want for a value here. What we want is a, what we want current sales index formatted as a number with 0 decimal places. So day 1, day 2, day 3 is how that will work. And let me make sure this is not fixed width. It is 320. Cool. So there's that. Let's take a peek at the, was it our plans? No. One of these repeating groups. Trying to find the dimensions of the vertical. Here we go. So here we're looking at 140 by 240. So we want to, how high is this? I want to make this a little bit taller. Okay. So let's drop an image in here. It's at 240. 140. Okay, good. Yeah, we got some good margins around that image, and that image, it has a slight, maybe like roundness of, let's try 5. The value for where this image is coming from is the current sales yoga class vertical thumb photo. And I'm just gonna take a peek at our progress here while I go over, and I think we're just gonna copy and paste that other stuff to the right side here. Okay, so click into the plan. It goes and grabs that class list. Day 1, day 2, day 3. And how is this class list sorted? I am not sure. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down 20 more. Bring this down here, a little bit of breathing room. And I'm going to go to our classes group, grab this. So you just hold shift and that allows you to grab multiple items. And then I'm going to do a copy. And paste that in. Try to get this spacing as good as I can because I think I'll have to space all of them individually if it's off. Which, like, whatever happens. Okay. So everything needs to come up like by 2, it looks like. And if I bring that so it's locked in, I'm at 175. So about 175. So I bring it up by 2. Bring it up by 2. 175. 75. It's really fine where that one is. And then what else? What else is going on this page? Well, when you click one of these, then we bounce to the plan preview, the class preview page. So, all right, so we did lose, interesting, there's some data that's in this, but it's not the correct data. Now it is. Cool, so we're looking pretty good. Feels like oh yeah, so I am designing basically over there on what is the thinnest what is the thinnest mobile device, and then it expands out. So that is kind of why some of the spacing here looks like the text is what gets the extra expansion, and that's fine. And then let's check it out on an iPad. I'm not going to worry if this is off by too much, to be honest. I don't expect it to look too nice. In fact, it's not even updating. I can't even scroll, so I know it hasn't. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Okay. You know, that doesn't look half bad. Looks like we could use a little bit more space between the things. So that would mean just bring this down a touch. And what else? We need something to happen when you hit join program. We need something to happen when you hit these buttons or these images. So we're going to wrap up this video with hitting these images because that's a pretty slam dunk thing. So I kind of moved it. What do we want to have happen? Well, we want to do the same thing we always do. display data where into the class preview group of the current cells class. If we're scrolled down, we want to scroll to the top. And then we want to navigate to Element Actions, Navigation. We want to go to the page. For navigation, equaling class preview, I believe is what we want. Let me just look at these other ones. Yep. Okay, so we are actually not on, in order to get the back button, this back button, no, this one. In order for this, the value of this navigation to be correct, it gets set over here. We need to add something that says, or it's data from, oh, interesting. This is get nav from, and then this is get nav from, this is get, okay. And then get data from page URL of the nav. Okay, that, if yours is not updated to say get nav, get nav, get nav, get nav, get nav, you'll want to update that. So we are looking at plan preview. What is this doing here? Well, this is just saying that if we're on this plan preview page and this is clicked to go over to the class preview, which you'll be reminded that that class preview is, wow, that looks quite different. It's this page, and we're working with this back button. But see how when this nav is class preview, which when we made it onto this page, sorry, the state has already been set in this moment that I'm speaking. But so that state, when I click back to it, it knew to go to the classes page. And now when this classes one is or let's take another example. When it's home, it's going to set the state from here. So that state is now home, so it knows to go back to home. So what if we're on plans? Well, this is, we'll actually never go from plans, directly from plans into that one, but we will go from plan preview. So that is what this is saying, is that we can navigate from here, which we'll just have to update this. Yep, so we're good to go here. We'll just have to update. Just going to bounce back to our normal view. And refresh. So what this should do is that when we are navigating through this area of plans, which remember this will always show up because we'll never just start on the plans page. We always have to navigate to here. But so now that we're in here, we've got a little bit more spacing than before. Actually, I think this could come down a touch, maybe 10 pixels from the heading, but worry about that later. So when we click here, we're taken to this preview page, and then now we should come back here. So if I'm down at this one, see it pops us up here, and then click back. If I'm down at day 7, click back. Cool. So what do I want to do to finish off this? I want to give some spacing for all of these elements. Just going to nudge my cursor down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My cursor, the, you know what I'm saying? Keyboard. And lastly, clean up the bottom with a group to collapse. So stretch this to the bottom so it's touching. Stretch this so it's touching the bottom of this one. It is not visible, and when it's not visible, collapse it. Just give it a centering and no killers. And so this is our group collapser. And we'll take one last look. And we can feel pretty good about the progress. So what we just did is we, in our last video, we built out this plans repeating group, and this plans part of this page. We'll still work on the joined ones next. But what we got now done is when we started this video, you couldn't click these. Now you can. And again, I only made this image available for just the one. So I will go and I will add that image for the other one so we can click the other ones. Also, I'll add a back button here. But so we've got this looking pretty nice. And when we click this, we can go and watch the video. And then we can go back. We still need to do something to join the program. We need to add a back button. We need to finish off this joined one. And we'll do that in the next video. I think we made some fantastic progress here on this portion for this video. So thank you for hanging with. Hope you're enjoying. If you are, please like or subscribe the channel. Really appreciate that. And we'll see you in the next video.